Good morning, everybody. Oh, my computer is having a case of the Mondays. I went to log into my computer, and it didn't work. You know how you have to put in your password? Well, I put in my password. Didn't work. Shut off and turned on my. I tried all the simple stuff first. Turn it on, turn it back off stuff, like my keyboard. Didn't work. Like, okay, is caps lock stuck? What is going on? I restarted my computer and now everything works just fine. Amazing how that works. So we got started sort of a little bit early this morning. We are going to talk about a new case that Flash Fan actually you hacked it, King Bob. Funny. We are going to talk about a new case that Flash Fan turned me on to. It's from Wisconsin, and he likes to send me Wisconsin cases just because Wisconsin is not only my home state, but it is the Florida of the North. It has all the crazies. Just like Florida, Wisconsin has the crazies too. I know, trust me, I'm from there. That's where you get this from, because I'm a little bit crazy. Well, we have a case of a teenager who allegedly unalived his mother. Kicker. He was inspired by the Menedez Brothers. And if y'all know who the Menedez Brothers are, the Menedez Brothers were convicted of unaliving both of their parents in 1989 and didn't go to trial until 1996. And were convicted, and they've been in the news recently about having their convictions overturned or resentenced in California. I did not, Tammy. I did not. I haven't checked this morning. It is not cheesy. It is a weird one. We are going to get into it real quick. Flash Fan sent me I looked up an article on it, but Flash Fan had also sent me a court hearing. I think. No, that was a different case. Okay. Oh, yes. I wanted to go over this real quick. I don't know if this will ever be first trial 1993, second one 1996. Thank you. I know they were like, their conviction was in 1996, so that's all I can remember offhand. Because I was only 11 years old, 10 years old. And some people in this chat, Flash Fan, wasn't even alive. Flash Fan, you know you're my little bro. Like, you're my brother from another mother. But some people weren't alive, and you were one of them. Hi, BB. You want to say hi? So we are going to, hi, John. Good morning. Oh, you want to come up here? Oh, you want to say hi? Girl, you would think that we didn't brush your hair this morning. Ooh, and we're feeling a little rushed this morning because we have an appointment at 11 o'clock. So I have to be out of here, 10:30, not late. So I didn't know how long this would take me. 1993. You have trial transcripts? So, okay, Flash Fan has trial transcripts. So, that's an interesting one. So we are going to read a quick article and then watch a video. This is Wisconsin. Wisconsin and documents are, it's very easy to CCAP someone and see what they were convicted or charged with. It is not as easy as Florida or some other states to actually get the documents. I'm trying to convince one of my family members to go to the courthouse for me because this is out of Racine County, Wisconsin, which is the county north of Kyle Rittenhouse and the county south of Milwaukee. So I have family in that area. So I'm going to try and convince them to help me out and see if we can go to the courthouse. Oh. We're energetic this morning, huh? Yeah, say somebody slept in this morning. Mommy got up and actually got stuff done around the house, and the little one was still sleeping. Generally, like inner city Racine, I would say is not the greatest, but like you have people that have Racine Racine mailing address that are in like unincorporated towns, and those are fine. No, Angel, you cannot have a push pin. I apologize for anybody whose ears just got blown out. She is upset because I would not let her play with a push pin. So to the people who make me laugh by saying you're letting her have a tantrum, tell me you don't have a toddler without telling me. Part of her throwing temper tantrums is the fact that I'm trying to keep her safe, and she's not happy about it. Because if I didn't try to keep her safe, girl would be playing with push pins. So if you comment on my parenting skills saying to try to troll me, I will call your butt out because that's just like I don't have kids, and even I know they will throw temper tantrums occasionally. Well, part of these sound panels that I have is I have like, receipts hung up on them and stuff, and they're really good for like push pins and to, double as a board. And she pulled one of the push pins that I wasn't using out. So this is what she wanted to play with and why she screamed at me, because I wouldn't let her play with this. Because, like, I'm a free range parent, as they say, but even I have my standards of what I will not let her play with. And a push pin just happens to be one of them. Oh, Rainbow Pickle. Can I just tell you how much I love that name? I don't know where it came from, but it is hilarious, and it makes me smile every time I see it. So this is out of we didn't have kids because of my NF. I'm so sorry, King Bob. That's hard. So we are going to get into this. Yes, this is from Court TV. Flash Fan sent me a law and crime coverage too, but but we're going to read this one, and then we're just going to look at that one and see if anything's different. This is just an intro to this case. We have no documents. We also don't know if it's going to be televised. It is just one of those cases that makes you go, huh? No sense of adventure this morning. I know. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Next you will be saying she can't play with fire or scissors or knives or, I have my standards. Come on. All right. Dude, I'm not going to the Georgia Aquarium today. Sorry. It's not even close to here. The law and crime one goes in a little more detail. All right, we'll open the law and crime one because Flash Fan is a beast, and I should just always trust what he sends me, because he's better at this than I am. Why he's not, I don't know, but he is he's better at this than I am. Well, this is the law and crime one it's a 20-minute video. So we are going to watch that instead. And I will be stopping the video occasionally because it is law and crime, and we are going to give our insights and not we are not just going to play the video because I don't want to get copyright struck. You know how that goes. There's a fair use thing,
15-year-old boy charged with killing his mother, and the DA says he claimed to be inspired by a Menedez Brothers show.
Eric and I
This is from, I want to say March 7th is this happened. So this is only less than 2 weeks old.
killed our parents together, so I'd say that makes us pretty close.
I break down the disturbing case of Gelinskey out of Wisconsin.
Okay. Question though, does he not look like a Menendez brother in a way? Like he or the actors that played in that documentary, or like, you know, does he not look? Does he not have the same like facial structure and look like he could be one of their brothers too? Maybe that's just me. Like I'm just.
Welcome to Crime Fix. I'm Anjanette Levy. When you think of 15-year-old boys, you probably think of a freshman in high school, maybe a sophomore hanging out with friends, going to school, maybe playing sports. But Gelinskey, he isn't doing any of those things, at least not anymore. Reed is 15 years old, and he's from Caledonia, Wisconsin.
Okay, Caledonia. Caledonia is right across the border from Oak Creek. So Oak Creek is Milwaukee County. Caledonia is like right there. But I have family who lives in Caledonia. Let's put it that way.
He's charged with killing his mother, Suzanne Gelinskey, and he's charged as an adult currently. Caledonia is a small village in Racine County, south of Milwaukee. The population.
So here's Oak Creek. Caledonia is like, here's 32. The power plant is like right here. And this is like, yeah, like this is a pretty big area, but a pretty small area at the same time. It's a pretty big suburb.
And is a little more than 25,000. A teenage boy accused of murdering his own mother would be shocking anywhere, but this crime, as described by police, was particularly calculated and cold-blooded. Caledonia police were called to the Gelinskey home.
Wait. And that is the, Okay, I have to look up this address because that house looks really familiar. But that's kind of all houses built in the early 2000s in Wisconsin, in the Milwaukee area, Racine area, look like that. I think I know who built that house.
Home on East White Manor Court on March 4th after getting a call that Reed had stabbed his mother to death. The criminal complaint states, as officers approached Gelinskey, he dropped a brown and silver kitchen knife at the front stoop of the home. He then made statements for officers to kill him and stated, "She is dead, and she is dead from what I did." Gelinskey was taken into custody, and officers noted his clothing appeared to have blood on it. Gelinskey later made an excited utterance, stating he struck his mother over the head with a dumbbell in an attempt to knock her out so he could stab her with the knife.
So that just, okay, and this is like, they had to choose one of the like crazy eyes looking pictures for her. But Flash fan, this might, I think, okay, I don't think it will be brought up or it will actually affect their bid for freedom. However, I do think that it will be brought up in court and discussed. What will happen with it, I don't actually think it'll, I don't actually know if it'll have any effect on it, but it will be brought up. I really do think it will be brought up. Yes, and I think there's reasons for that, but I think social media has a lot to do with it. But
first responders tried to revive Suzanne Gelinskey, but it was simply too late.
Flash fan, there's
Police
more.
took Reed Gelinskey into custody, and they say he gave a full confession. The criminal complaint goes on to say, during the interview, Gelinskey stated he came home from school on the above date and felt depression and an urge to kill his parents. Gelinskey
Okay. So I don't think that he was inspired by the Menendez brothers. I just think that he's using that as an excuse based on what I've seen from this. Unless someone can show me something different, I don't think that he was inspired by the Menendez brothers. I think he watched it to get the motivation and get that final like encouragement and confidence. I don't think that he was inspired by them at all.
Stated he searched the home for a hammer because he was going to kill his father when he came home from work, but could not find one large enough. Now, at some point in the interview with the detective, Reed also admits that he's been taking his brother's anxiety medication for the last month. Reed told the detective it didn't curb his anxiety, but the meds got him high, which he openly admits he enjoys to the detective. The criminal complaint states that Reed took 9 pills that night, and after dinner, he turned on Netflix and decided to watch the Menedez Brothers series entitled Monsters.
You don't murder.
Okay. 9 pills. Like, depending on the anxiety medication that he was taking, 9 pills is a lot because maximum for most things you take 3 times a day. 1 with each meal, and that's 3 pills. So he took 3 days worth of pills at one time. Like, think about how that, like, like, let's just think about that. Like, 3 days worth of pills at one time. Like, how he's still alive himself and how he did not overdose. Like, yeah. 1 is, like, mine says I can take up to 3 times a day. I take like 1 a day because I'm like, There's another question. Well, most are as needed or up to 3 times a day. Every 8 hours, roughly. It seems that, yeah, this is also the case. There is a lot to unpack here, and I've read the article on this. I did not watch this video.
Your parents, that way.
Police say Reed told them the shotgun scene inspired him, and so he devised a plan to kill his parents. Eric and Lyle Menendez shot their parents, Jose and Kitty Menendez, in their home in Beverly Hills in 1989. At first, the brothers claimed burglars killed their parents. Then they had to come clean after Eric confessed to a therapist that he and Lyle killed their parents. Their first trial ended with a hung jury. Lyle and Eric claimed they were guilty of manslaughter, not murder, because Jose was sexually abusing Eric. They were convicted at a second trial, though, of murder. The case has been in the news a lot over the last couple of years as Eric and Lyle have tried to get out of prison after exhausting.
King Bob, it was an anxiety medication. They never specified in any of the articles that I read or this video so far what it was. Oh, and that's just I'm sorry, but like this right here, this is just this is crazy eyes and a crazy person smile. Like, I'm sorry. Like, he looks relatively normal. This, yeah. Why can't a kid say he was inspired by a movie about a kid who got his degree and a good job? Like, God, wouldn't that be the, like, yeah, pre-planning kind of takes away the I don't know what I was doing defense. Yeah, also, like, I don't think he was inspired by these two. I think that he watched it because he wanted to do it, and that gave him that final boost of confidence. Almost like, when someone has a drink before they talk to a person in a bar, to try to ask someone out on a date, you need that liquid courage. Well, I think that was his liquid courage. German soldiers during World War II were hyped up on meth 90% of the time. I've heard that. I haven't actually seen anything about that.
All of their appeals and presenting new evidence they say supports their claim they were sexually abused. It appeared that they may be on the verge of being released, but the new LADA, Nathan Hochman, he's not ready to support the brothers' resentencing efforts. Now back to Reed Gelinskey. After watching the Netflix show around 9:50 p.m., the plan kicks into action when Reed's mother goes upstairs. Police wrote that Reed got his steak knife and then lured his mother back downstairs. The complaint states, Gelinskey stated he then went to get SG and told her he couldn't find his medicine. Gelinskey said he hid a dumbbell bar in the sleeve of his sweatshirt while SG came downstairs to look for the pills. Gelinskey stated while his mother's back was to him, he hit her twice in the head with the dumbbell. Gelinskey said he thought she would fall over, but she did not, so he threw her to the ground and grabbed the knife. Gelinskey said she tried to kick him off of her approximately 7 times, but eventually he stabbed her 3 times in the chest and twice in the neck. Now, this is so disturbing and unbelievable. According to the...
We are having a rash of kids allegedly unaliving their parents. And I mean, as a parent, it kind of makes me a little like, what is going on here and how do I prevent this? So I think that's why these fascinate me, is like, what because I had issues with my parents. Don't get me wrong. I love my parents dearly, but like we fought. Like I was not the greatest kid in the world. Not getting into any of that, but like I was never in legal trouble, but I was a pain in the ass. I'm a pain in the ass as an adult, so you can only imagine when I was a pain in the ass when I didn't know that I was a pain in the ass. I never once, with any issues that I ever had with my parents, ever thought of doing this. Like this was never crossed my mind. So we have Colin Griffith, we have Carly Gregg, we have that Washington case where that kid unalived his dad because he voted for Trump. Like there's been this there's a crisis in this country. Yeah, I really hate that lady sweater. That's petty level 1,000, but it's more her it's more her overdone makeup that I can't stand. But yeah, okay. Everyone has some kind of it's just like, what is now the problem that is causing kids to take it to another level?
The complaint, Reed mentions that during the struggle, his mother asked him why, and he replied, pain. Shortly after the attack, Reed contacted his friend over Snapchat, and that's how police actually found out about this stabbing. The caller told the 911 call taker that she had received a Snapchat photo of a woman lying face up on her back and another image with blood on the floor. Reed met investigators outside when he heard the sirens stop.
Reed Gelinskey appearing.
Okay. Cool. Question. Do you think that they will use that as he used Snapchat and told somebody as an insanity defense, kind of like Carly Gregg and calling her friend over? Because he had no idea what he was doing. He thought it was a good idea to put it on social media. Yeah. Kind of like Carly Gregg. Might surprise me. Mm-hmm. Would you be shocked if I said it didn't?
Appearances.
Brooke Erickson for the state. The victim's family member is also present via Zoom.
Reed Gelinskey appears via Zoom in custody from the detention center with attorney Alex Hahn. Good afternoon.
There was a first appearance yesterday, so I think we have to set it for a preliminary hearing.
Yes.
That was one of Reed Gelinskey's court appearances last week, and a family member of Reed Gelinskey's was there, and it was presumably his father. He was in that court appearance as well over Zoom. A preliminary hearing date was set for March 12th.
I think that was it for today. So,
well, the interesting part about this, certain groups will blame pew-pews, but they've been around forever, and two, Colin Griffith, mother, not a pew-pew. This dude, Reed Gelinskey, mother, not a pew-pew. What are they going to do? Blame gym equipment because he hit her in the head with a dumbbell? Like, if you want to use that logic, like, now we can't have, now we can't cook in our kitchens because he used a steak knife. Like the logic to me doesn't compute. If they've been around forever, cars have been around for 100 years now. Ish. Exercise kills. Yeah. Like it. No, in the sense of right now, her thing is listening to music. Like she loves to listen to music, and like we're on like a bluey and like what are those? Paw Patrol kind of kick. Like I'm good with that. When she starts watching like when she starts watching the stuff that I watch, like Investigation Discovery, Snapped, Kenda, things like that, then I might be worried.
So thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Mr. Gelinskey, someone will give you a call.
Okay, thank you.
The cases that I cover go to show you just how unpredictable and scary the world can be, and having a great lawyer really matters. That's where our partner and sponsor, Morgan & Morgan, comes in. Even if you think
Morgan
your case
Morgan,
isn't worth millions,
I must say,
start a claim and fight for what you.
Not to hype them up, but Morgan & Morgan, if you need a lawyer for, I don't know, a certain type of suit where you were unlawfully removed from your job, Morgan & Morgan is your people because they did a really good job.
Pinned in the comments. Reed Gelinskey walked into court for that preliminary hearing handcuffed on March 12th. He's being held in juvenile detention, and this hearing would have given his attorneys a chance to cross-examine state's witnesses, but instead,
we're prepared to waive the preliminary hearing this morning. I believe co-counsel filed the waiver form.
the judge then questioned Reed Gelinskey about his decision to waive that hearing.
Did you talk to your lawyers about waiving the preliminary hearing?
Is that it?
At a preliminary hearing, the state calls witnesses to testify if there's probable cause that a felony has been committed and that you probably committed it. By waiving the hearing, you're agreeing the state can prove probable cause, and I can order you to stand trial on the charges. Did you understand what the waiver meant?
Yeah, I did.
Did anyone make any threats or promises to force you to waive the hearing? Do you freely, knowingly, and voluntarily waive the hearing?
Yes.
You know John Morgan. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? But okay. This lawyer right here, this I'm assuming is a public defender. Doesn't he look younger than the defendant? Just saying. Good morning. I blame Hollywood for a lot newer movies paint the criminals as good guys. Older stuff, you clearly see who that's an angle I never even. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. That's an interesting take. I've never thought about it like that. But that's why I like talking to the chat, because y'all have insights and experiences and things that I don't. So we work together to figure out why we think this might happen. Yeah, Doogie Howser Esquire.
All right, based on the foregoing and the facts in the complaint, I find there is probable cause that this defendant committed the alleged felony in the criminal complaint. I'm going to bind him over to stand trial on the charge. And then with regard to the arraignment, the parties want to go forward today?
No, Your Honor. We did file a request for a reverse waiver. I believe we already have a date picked out in front of the sign range.
Okay, we'll give you a reverse waiver hearing.
Thank you.
So I want to bring in Mark Weaver. He has worked as a special prosecutor in the state of Ohio, prosecuting death penalty cases and other criminal cases. Also, he at times sits as a judge in the state of Ohio. So this is a really disturbing case, Mark. We have a 15-year-old boy who basically says he's been taking his brother's anti-anxiety medication. It doesn't help his anxiety, but it gets him high, and he kind of likes it, and he turns on Netflix.
I don't have to watch the hearing. That was it. Yeah. And for some, I can appreciate the fact that this kid, don't get me wrong, I don't like this kid, but that his lawyers were like, you confessed to the police. There's really no point in having this preliminary hearing when we see if there's enough evidence to send you to trial. We're pretty sure we're going to trial, so let's not waste the time. I can appreciate that as lawyers. Hey, we know this is going to go to trial. Why are we sitting here wasting taxpayer money? No, it was not his medication. It was his brother's. But one of the articles that I did see, and we are going to, because I'm not going to listen to them talk, because Anjanette Levy yeah. So we're going to read what kind of a synopsis of that, but it has some different things in it. So this is out of Racine, Caledonia. Wisconsin teenager is being charged as an adult in the stabbing death of his mother, and prosecutors say he was inspired by a recent documentary about the Menedez Brothers. Reed Gelinskey, 15, is charged with first-degree intentional unaliving in the death of his mother. Prosecutors claimed he also planned to kill his father. There's part that it said parents, but it didn't see, and this right here, planned. If you have proof that he planned it, then it's not, you can't plead temporary insanity. It just doesn't add up. He was part of Colleen Gilbert and Morgan years ago, and they ran him off. He started to practice with his wife, who's actually a very nice person. We didn't deal with him personally, just his firm, and the couple people he hired that we had to deal with were very, very pleasant, very helpful, and yeah. That's another question. Like, was his brother giving it to him and saying that he was taking it and not taking it? Or was the brother taking it and Reed taking it as well? Because if the brother had it and said, no, you can take this, like, it doesn't work for me, instead of telling his parents that it didn't work, and his parents are thinking he's taking his medication and he's really not. Those earrings have to go. Who dressed this woman? Like, not to get in on her, because I'm sure she's a very nice person. But when someone has their hair down and a turtleneck, it just looks too busy here. Like, if you're gonna wear a turtleneck, put your hair in a ponytail. Like, open this area up a little bit. That's just, I'm not a fashionista, but that's just this looks all busy in here. Just Gelinskey made his first court appearance Thursday afternoon over Zoom, where the court commissioner set a $1 million cash bond. His mother was identified as Susan Gelinskey and was confirmed by Racine Unified School District to be a 4K educational assistant. So not only did he unalive his mother, but he took what appears at this point to be a good woman away from a school district, away from children, 4K, 4-year-olds. Like, it makes it even more, awful. The gruesome discovery was made after officers were dispatched on March 4th for a report of a juvenile who stuck a pointy object through a person. A caller told dispatch she had received a Snapchat photo showing a woman later identified as Suzanne lying face up on her back, and another image with blood on the floor. According to the criminal complaint filed Thursday, Reed allegedly told the caller he needed help and had stabbed his mother. That night, according to the complaint, Reed watched the Menedez Brothers documentary on Netflix after dinner. He said his inspiration for stabbing came to him while he watched the shotgun scene. He then allegedly concocted a plan to unalive his mother, hiding his sleep medication. So this is another thing, his sleep medication. So he was taking his brother's anxiety medication, but he had sleep medication. Well, this kid was 15, so it could be, I don't know. There's a lot of questions there. Yeah, this is kind of similar to Greg. After she went upstairs in an effort to lure her back down to look for it. When she came downstairs, the complaint said he struck her over the head twice with a dumbbell in an attempt to knock her out so he could stab her with the kitchen knife. Reed allegedly threw her to the ground and stabbed her 3 times in the chest and twice in the neck. I guess he's not going to try to claim self-defense. Yes, I thank you for this, Fred. We were trying to get through this so that we can go to that real quick. He was taking 9 anxiety. So there's a difference between antidepressant and anxiety. After the attack, Reed told investigators he contacted a friend on Snapchat, told her to call the police, and sat on the floor until he heard sirens. Inside the home, officers found Suzanne near the front of the house with apparent stab wounds and blood-soaked clothing. He attempted life-saving measures but could not be revived. Officers recovered a kitchen knife dropped by Reed with blood on the blade and handle. This is why I like reading articles and watching multiple things, because everybody has different facts. And if you read more than one thing, you can kind of put together a better picture. Another knife was found near the kitchen sink with a drop of blood on the handle and blade, along with a silver adjustable dumbbell near the cabinet by the refrigerator. The complaint states Reed also had plans to kill his father with a hammer when he came home from work, but could not find one large enough. According to the complaint, the team came home from school that day feeling depressed and having an urge to kill his parents. He also told investigators that he had been taking his brother's anxiety medication for about a month, saying the medication doesn't help his anxiety, but made him high. So I don't know. There's that. So this will be a case that we are going to be keeping an eye on, and if it is streamed, I will be streaming it because this is close to home in more than one way. Hi, baby. Oh, you're gonna bring Daddy's chair over here? Okay. Yes. Okay. Yeah. You gonna come on up? I'll hold it. Hold on. There you go. I got it. It's not gonna move. There you go. Hi. Yes, and now that we are done with the Ucky stuff, you can come up here. Oh. All right. So I am going to check the docket quick, and we are going to read. We are going to read that because good Lord. Hi, baby. Hi. Yeah. You want to say hi, sweet girl? Are you a sweet girl? Yeah. Are you a sweetie pie? Oh. Just because you were wondering, you look like this good thing. Great color for you, and the neckline is appropriate. Necklace. It's baby squid's birthstone. So this isn't the necklace that I barely take off. There's one that you keep it. I used to wear a cross all the time. But when she was born, I had to take it off when going into the ER for my C-section. And I haven't seen it to this day. Mr. Squid claims he put it in his backpack, and it was not in his backpack. And 2.5 years later, I have not seen it. So this is my new, All right. Filed last night. You will love the new doc. Oh, we're getting into it now. I'm just 6 pages. We're going to try to get through this as fast as possible. All right. We are going to download it so that way I don't have to pay for it again. 2025, 16. All right. Go Ask Alice song has become a way of life now. What I find scary is all the medications our children on. I have a 12-year-old that teachers have pushed to have put on meds. They feel he cannot stay on task. I've been kind of looking at I did a stream with Spawn Trooper the other day where my main focus was health and what's in our food system. One of the things that I read in one of the articles is for ADHD symptoms, parents did an elimination diet where they eliminated processed foods, gluten, artificial dyes, and artificial sugars. And in a month, symptoms were reduced in 77% of the kids. I don't know how in-depth that study was, but that might be something worth looking into. Well, yeah, Tammy, it was just one of those things I thought of because somebody was talking to Spawn Trooper and they made a comment, go have it. They were joking. It was in jest, but they said, go have another Dr. Pepper. And I was thinking about it and I was like, his Dr. Pepper is not the same as our Dr. Pepper. Our Dr. Pepper is probably twice, if not 3 times as bad as his. So it was like, and the serving size is smaller by 10 to 20 milliliters, I think. So not only is it a smaller serving size, so when he says that he had 2 Dr. Peppers, it's not the same as 2 of our Dr. Peppers. Oh yeah, Peachy, you were doing the carnivore diet. How are you doing on that? So I did save it, but I'm also going to, I'm also going to do it here so we can, this was filed last night, and you can tell it's a Bubbles document because the obvious thing is missing. Everybody's favorite word, Gainesville. And I honestly thought he would take longer. I thought he would wait until, I I honestly thought that he would wait until closer to the 19th, but that's just me. All right. And now that we've got, before we get into this, I am going to update the description so that more people see this. Jeremy Hales. Reading new motion in the Jeremy Hales case. I took Jeremy Hales. Let's say, what the hells? There we go. And then I will cut out this second part. Yeah, so the 400 people will come. Yeah, something like that, Flashman. I will cut this second part out. The document is just another unhinged response to nothing. Yes, I believe that's the case, but nobody makes YouTube content like Bubbles. All right. Motion to strike number 96 for failure to include local rule 7.1C certificate and request for 1 week to respond if motion to strike is denied. So he's not even, just the name, what he chose to call this document and what he chose to ask for in the title makes me cringe. The defendant moved pursuant to local rule 41.1 to strike plaintiff's motion for sanctions on the grounds that the motion fails to include the certificate required by local 7.1C. If this motion is denied, the defendants respectfully request 1 week from the time of denial to file a comprehensive response to the motion for sanctions. You were supposed to have a comprehensive response to the motion for sanctions by the 20th. So maybe he will still do that when this is denied. I have a feeling this will be not denied today. I have a feeling the judge, I have a feeling the judge will not hesitate to put in a order before this afternoon. Like, Hales, I wish they'd legally change their last name to Fuchs. And be what the Fuchs? Because that's kind of where this case is going. For your OT brain, Mo read an interesting article about Parkinson's and ping pong today. Ooh, I'll have to go back and look at that stream. The rule he is asking is for pretrial hearing, not this. Yeah, he wants another week, but he could have just made the response and been done, which means that he doesn't know how to respond. In my opinion, my first thing is that he doesn't know how to respond, so he's trying to find a loophole. Memorandum in support. Local Rule 41.1 provides if a party fails to comply with an applicable rule or court order, the court may strike a pleading, dismiss a claim, enter a default on a claim, or take up other appropriate action, or issue an order to show cause of why any of these actions should not be taken. He's failing to. There's a very important word in this that he fails to remember. The court may strike, not will, may. And the fact that the judge is already ordering him for a hearing to show cause on why he should keep his pro hoc vice status, this would not be the time that I would file stupid motions that I know we're going to get denied, and I would just suck it up and try to save face. He's digging his hole deeper, in my opinion, with this. Yeah, no offense to Jeremy Hales, I would at this point think he's also asking himself, what the fuck? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's I took it that way. Yeah. If anything, this exposes our justice system for what it is. And that's why I like talking about these things, because I am surprised at how many people Like, I still don't completely understand the justice system, especially appeals, courts of appeals, how it goes up, levels of courts. There's still a lot that I don't understand and that I'm learning. But I was surprised that how many people don't even know basics of a court system. And some of that might be good because that might mean you've never been in the justice system, which is great. However, we can't hold people properly accountable if we don't know what they do. Yeah. So many people run around thinking suing people is easy and quick. I had small claims court once and it was hell. Yeah, and even small claims court in some states can take up to 6 months after your court visit for a decision. So, Local Rule 7.1C provides certificate required. A motion or supporting memorandum must include a certificate under a separate heading confirming that the moving party complied with the attorney conference required of Local Rule 7.1B and setting out the results. Before the present motion to strike could be prepared, the court ordered an expedited response within 1 week and issued an order to show cause requiring travel to Pensacola. However, the plaintiff's motion was filed without a Local Rule 7.1 certificate and thus should be stricken. See First Baptist Ferry Passenger Inc. versus Worldwide Insurance Company, Northern District of Florida, 2023. The motion was a complete surprise. I'm sure this was not a surprise in any way. If there had been a Rule 7.1B conference in which the plaintiff's counsel presented as his basis for sanctions the 5 emails on which the motion is based, the undersigned could have responded in writing to memorialize efforts to narrow issues and avoid motions. This is him trying to save face. But we are going to open up the document 96 because it's we're just gonna see at the end. So, oh yoy. I'm sure this motion was not a complete surprise to anybody. If it wasn't a complete surprise to me or 90% of Jeremy's audience, it should not have been a surprise to Bubbles. But you know, yeah. 96-1 is an email sent as a litigant who was served a process in a different case, not as counsel and not in this case, and thus not to opposing counsel. It was in a response to learning that the home address of 10 individuals, all whom have been subject to ongoing relentless vitriol, invective, and threats. Oh, that stupid comma. You don't need that anymore. Welcome to 2025. And threats by the plaintiff on his YouTube platform and resulting threats. God, can he make one motion without mentioning YouTube? One. Just one. Resulting threats, accusations, and vulgar comments from the plaintiff's fans and supporters online were publicly docketed in the other case, possibly with the intent of being doxxed by the plaintiff's supporters. The address was removed following the undersigned's email. Actually, they weren't, but that's, you know. Respectfully, the court's jurisdiction does not extend to private communications of the undersigned sent as a litigant unrelated to this case. No, it is completely related to this case, and that is why the judge, Belatho, was added to that case, because they're very closely related. Where's the 400 people? It's because I didn't start out or put Jeremy Hales on my thumbnail. Right. And Jeremy Hales said that Randy has much more than just a few emails in that motion that he's filed. I'm sure he does. I am sure he does. Like, BBB is all about finding fault in others and not doing what is in the best interest of his clients. I'm surprised by how much crap we didn't know about. I'm also surprised. Like, everybody knows, like, I'm not a supporter. Like, I don't know. I'm stuck in the middle somewhere. Like, I don't hate anybody on either side except for Bubbles. But it's just, like, I just, haven't Lynette and John looked at this and been like, dude, what are you doing? Just stop. This, you're not making this better. Or are they completely oblivious to all of this behind the scenes stuff and they only see Bubbles going on their podcast. They don't look at all the documents. He can't let things go. I believe, in my opinion, that he needs to seek professional help in the sense of there is something that is not clicking. There's like a no consequences, like a frontal lobe distortion. I don't know. There's just something to there's just something not right. And like it is just not right. And it is not like in my opinion, it doesn't have anything to do with Lynette and John as his clients. This has everything to do with something in his brain is not up to par. Something is damaged, in my opinion. I think that there's something not right. Like, I truly believe there's something not right because, like, basic logic to him, he's not, there's something that's not clicking. I take exception to your vitriol against the use of an Oxford comma. Them fighting words. I find myself using it. I've caught myself using it quite a few times, but in 2025, it is no longer required. Yeah, it's harassment. That's all they care about is costing JH money. That's, yeah. The fact that the matter that the court can take appropriate actions as it deems fit, Bubbles is screwed. Yeah, I did a little search on Bubbles, and there's a couple court cases that I was looking at that I'm like, he was the defendant. So this is not the first time that he's been sued. Alcohol-induced dementia. No, not dementia, because not dementia. Yeah. BBB has empty brain syndrome. I just think there's frontal lobe damage. Like there's something not right. Like I would love to see an image or like, yeah. That might be true too. But there's just something that's like people just don't know when to stop. 96-2, you're endlessly ridiculous. Guilty. The plaintiff's counsel had been demanding better responses to discovery. The judge has been asking for better responses to discovery. But forget Randy for a second. Leave Randy out of this. The judge has been asking you for better responses and saying your bullshit is not going to cut it. And the undersigned has been asking him to explain more specifically what he was seeking. No. I read it. Like there's only so many times Randy can tell you what he's looking for before he's like, you just need to be more specific. Like we're just gonna stop it right there. After a number of such exchanges, the plaintiff's counsel emailed to inform that he would be sending a formal deficiency letter. The undersigned's full response was, you continue to refuse to explain what you claim is deficient and what better responses mean. Dude, everybody knows what better responses mean except for you. You're either very, very stupid or you're lying. And right now, I used to think it was lying, but now I'm not really sure. And now you'll say you'll do that in a formal letter. You're endlessly ridiculous. You still don't call someone endlessly ridiculous in an email, in a professional email. That is something that I would say in an argument with my spouse. You could have explained the first time I asked, and no formal letter changes that you've wasted all this time refusing to respond. This doesn't warrant sanctions. The fact that, yeah, I tend to be somewhat passive aggressive in arguments. Because I like making people angry. when I'm mad at them, when I'm mad at someone, you can ask Mr. Squid this. I can ask my parents this too. I just like getting under people's skin because it's so easy to do. Yes, he knows what phone records are. Like, And he knows exactly what they're looking for, and it's just so. Not you, girl. No, I am too. That's why I can pick it out when I see it, because petty knows petty. Petty knows petty. Passive aggressive knows passive aggressive. Because when you read something and you can know it's passive aggressive because you know it's something you would do. Maybe not in a professional email to a lawyer, but like it's passive aggressive to the nth degree. Yes, I agree, because I can see it, because I could, yeah. Squid Pro Co. V Bubble, get your ringside seat. Just remember, Flash fan. Just remember, I actually do have a little bit of kickboxing and MMA experience, but I would never do that. Yes, pretty much. When I'm mad, no one is allowed to be. And King Bob, it's allowed. ALLOWED. Yes, when I'm mad, nobody's happy. Because I make everybody miserable. So that's how you can really tell when I don't care about a situation, because everybody else is still fine. Because I'm like, I just don't care enough to be angry. This doesn't warrant sanctions. Uh-oh. Hey, Deborah, good morning. We started out talking about a new case out of Wisconsin where a kid allegedly unalived his mother after being inspired by the Menedez Brothers. And then we found out that there is a new document. So we're reading the new document from Bubbles. 96-3. This was an email sent in continued effort to obtain a copy of the only contract, whatnot, identified by the plaintiff as underlying in the tortious interference count. It's not the only contract. It's not the only contract. It's not the only contract. Facebook, but tell me, for someone who's on Facebook, what seems like all the time, Bubbles doesn't understand how social media marketing works. You're fine, King Bob. You're fine. You're fine. I was just giving you a hard time because you gave me a hard time. Tell me you don't understand how social media marketing works without telling me. Like, whatnot might be the only formal contract, but anything where you're given a discount code, you have to sign an agreement. It might not be a formal, legally binding contract, but when you are given a discount code for something, you are, for lack of a better term, in a contractual relationship with that company because they are paying you for your promotion. So anytime you get a discount code for something, there is a contractual relationship. And I think that, tell me you don't understand how that marketing works without telling me. I don't know the legal standards and all of that, but there are contracts. Without needing to burden the court with motions. Since November, plaintiff's counsel has not provided that contract or taken steps to procure an order of protection confidentiality, which he claims is needed because you fought it every time he's done it. Yes, Patrick, I am only doing it because there is a new document. To be clear, the undersigned from the very start offered in writing to maintain any whatnot documents as 100% confidential and attorney's eyes only. Sorry, bro, but your word don't mean shit. And that's funny because isn't there a phrase a man is only as good as his word? I don't trust Bubbles as far as I can throw him, and I'm not that strong. So, yeah. As of the date of the email, January 31st, an inordinate amount of time has been spent attempting to resolve the discovery issues, and the undersigned concluded that the purpose of the obstruction was to create an issue for the court motions. Thus, I realize your conduct always intended to create issues for motions to generate YouTube content. Dude, the only person who is making YouTube content is you. Pull them up. Oh my God. Footnote 1. I will ensure your shenanigans result in the appropriate discovery orders. Oh my God. Stands POLMOP stands for protraction of litigation and multiplication of proceedings, and has become commonly used to describe the plaintiff in his... No, it's not commonly used. It's only used by you for your YouTube content. Oh my God. Sorry. Counsel's use of litigation based on the contrived claims to generate litigation-related YouTube content. The plaintiff's motion and court's order number 98 are presently the subject of extensive coverage on numerous YouTube channels for whom this litigation has become the near exclusive source of content for the entertainment of their subscribers. I know sure as shit he ain't talking about me. There is nothing vulgar or insulting. It is an effort to avoid needing to involve the court on a discovery issue and a statement of intent seeking a discovery order. It does not remotely justify the filing of a motion for sanctions. That is not the definition. That's not a word. It's not a word. It's not an acronym. Yeah. No, he didn't. He refused to sign a confidentiality agreement and wanted Randy to just take him at his word. And that's the problem. That's the problem. A man is only as good as his word, and Bruce is not trustworthy. Ask me how I know. Yeah, I find it funny that BBB complains about content, but he's the one filing 12 billion motions. Yeah. In less than a year, we have 100 documents. Not all of them filed by Bruce, but 100 documents in a case that's less than a year old. June, thanks for being a member for 5 months. Hey, you can't get rid of me. That's okay. I love you. You're awesome. Appreciate the member chat. Oh my God. There is nothing vulgar or insulting. It's an effort to avoid needing to involve the court on a discovery issue and a statement of intent seeking a discovery order. It does not remotely justify the filing of a motion for sanctions. Yeah, it does. The email from the plaintiff's counsel, 96-4, we disagree. Your offer is also rejected. In response to the undersigned wrote, pull him up. That's a smart ass response. That's being a smart ass. Volume down. Thank you. Gotta turn the volume down, boo. No, I know you like to jam out, but I'm sure Breaking Benjamin would be more than happy to remove my content and take any income. So if they take income, we don't get as many toys because we don't have as much income. BBB leaves out the email where he called Randy a scumbag. How convenient. I know, right? So convenient. Without the context, the court cannot know the offer that was rejected or if it was intended to resolve some claims by agreement rather than multiplying litigation. The one-word response was to say that they were rejecting the offer because their purpose is not to avoid court proceedings, but to create them. No, it was rejecting your offer because your offer sucked. There is nothing wrong with the response, and it does not justify the filing of a motion for sanctions. You thought my oncoming headache was due to the weather, but it's this crap. And I'm sorry to be the messenger of the crap, but he has no word as he sees the convicted felon about things. Yeah, I mean, I can't argue with that. The one-word response was to say they were rejecting an offer because their purpose is not to avoid proceedings, but to create them. There's nothing wrong with the response, and it does not justify the filing of a motion for sanctions. It's not the one email. And here's the thing that I think Bubbles is avoiding. It's not the one email. It's the multiple. This happens over and over and over again. If someone was just a smartass in a one-off, like they're normally not like this, they were having a bad day and they're just being a smartass, fine. But this is over time. This is 96-5. The penis emoji was from an email from a journalist. The undersigned did not use it, adopt it, or even realize it was there until the plaintiff's motion was filed. Plaintiff's motion misled the court. You also emailed that journalist asking for to add more questions or things that you wanted asked. So you involved yourself in that. As we remember with Johnny Depp and Adam Waldman, making statements were proved to make statements that might not have been on behalf of your client can still screw you over. So was the undersigned obligated to respond? Mr. Luthman, I want to make it clear that I did not adopt your eggplant emoji signifying penis. It is ludicrous to bring motion for sanctions based on this. It's one thing. It's not just one thing. It's the constant. Like if someone's just a one-off smartass, I don't think Randy would have cared, because Randy has been a one-off smartass in his own right. The fleas mock that we don't understand. Pull them up. Yeah, we do it. We do. Like we do. It's like I understand the concept, but the only person creating YouTube content is him, because Randy doesn't file a whole lot of motions that aren't in a response to something. Right now, the only motion that he's filed recently has been the motion for sanctions. Everything else has been bubbles or orders from the judge. Love you, Squid, but too much Squid in my life is an overabundance that I can watch later. I am sorry, KU Thunder. I apologize. It's just weird. The motion highlights the suggestion that the journalist questions the plaintiff's counsel about the plaintiff's perjured affidavit. This is not a communication in these court proceedings. It is a response to a journalist's questions, not subject to the court's control. But it shows a pattern. The remaining highlighted parts were contained in the email from the journalist along with the eggplant, not in the email from the undersigned sent in response. Footnote 2. Respectfully, the inclusion of this emoji accusation should impress upon the court the plaintiff and his counsel's abuse of this litigation. You're cool, just me. Well, have a good day. I'll see you later. How many times in Randy's motions was it mentioned to knock off the behavior? I believe at least 3. Yeah. Like it. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, it's a thing. It's just a weird thing. Conclusion. The plaintiff's motion was clearly filed to incite the court, placing these events in motion. It is contrived to generate and has generated a lot of YouTube content. No, this has generated a lot of YouTube content. These motions. When the court looks at these contrived bases for the motions and considers that it was filed without the required certification to influence the court to act before the undersigned responded, it should strike the motion and vacate the order to show cause. If the court denies this motion to strike, the defendants respectfully request 1 week from that denial to file a comprehensive response to the motion for sanctions. Certification under local rule 7.1. Like, sometimes, man, this dude. Yeah, you can't copyright an acronym, especially when you want other people to use it. Like, yeah. That right there. I did bring up the actual motion for sanctions. And here's my question. And this would be a lawyer question to ask. Did the local 7.1 rule, I understand the point of it, but here's the thing. Nothing in this, nothing in Randy's motion is new. It's all stuff that has already been done. So it's not anything new that he would have to discuss with Bubbles. There's my 7.1b. There's, There's my loophole. Does that local rule 7.1b, and I have to read it to find out the answer. Does it have to do with new stuff? True. Hey, you, the one listening to Squid. Yeah, over there with the headphones, not you, the other one. Like and subscribe. Thank you, Patrick. Yeah, but he does have a point. It is not there. There is no Rule 7.1b issue. But my question is, does the 7.1b only have to do with new motions or new information? Because technically everything that Randy put in this motion has already been done weeks ago. Baby. All right. On that note, I do have to get going. We have an appointment to get to. Hi. Oh, thank you. Thank you. You want to say goodbye? I am going to... Someone said that it was a rule for pretrial hearings. Tammy, I actually have to look at it and read it for myself. What, baby? Okay, you're done. Oh, okay. We have to get going soon. Go get your shoes. No? Okay. I'm gonna see who's live. Hey. I'm stuck. You're stuck? You're not stuck. Hey, baby girl. Have a happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. I'm gonna see who's live that we can redirect to. Mo in the Deep End, Petty Express, Colorado versus Stacy Rodriguez. Tell Mo that I said hello, and I will see you guys on the next one. Say bye. Bye. Say bye. See you. See you. Bye, guys. Bye.